Welcome to the long-awaited Captain America guide. Let me introduce myself so you wonder why you should watch my guide. I got top 500 in Season 0 playing strictly only Captain America until people recognized me and then target banned me. Then I was forced to play other characters, but I have 50 plus hours on Captain America alone. In this guide, I will teach you everything you need to know on how to play Cap, from beginner stuff like how to use abilities properly to advanced stuff like the animation cancel. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing you want to do is go into the Captain America specific settings. So you go to settings, you want to go to keyboard, you want to click on Captain America, and you want to find settings that fit you for specific hero binds. So these are mine if you want to go off mine, but hold to dash or press to dash will not interfere with the animation cancel that I'll go over later. So you can do whatever you want, but I recommend you turn on allied health bars on, since when you use your ultimate, you can see who needs to get shield. I've saved many rounds and probably games with having this setting on. It's a lifesaver, and I suggest you turn it on too. For abilities, let's first go over how his melee attacks work. His melee attack is called Sentinel Strike, which is his primary fire. His first two melee attacks will do 40 damage each hit, and on the second melee hit, then it'll convert into 4 shield throws. You have 5 seconds to use that will deal 45 damage and will home onto nearby enemies if they're close. And the range of the shield throws are 25 meters. You can actually get charges for your shields from weird things in the game, such as Groot walls, Hulk while he's transforming, any spider nest. Basically anything you can do damage to will give you these charges. I will go over the animation cancel in the advanced part of this video. Now for a sprint leading dash. This ability allows you to move at 33.40% faster than normal and is infinite and will allow you to jump 5 meters higher as well. You pretty much always want to be sprinting, that way you are hard to hit. Unless you're going for a flank, then you shouldn't sprint, so you're silent for the enemies. This ability will help you use the next ability I will talk about, Super Soldier Slam. When you are elevated off the ground, you will get a targeted area and will be able to slam on the targeted area. And the max horizontal distance you can slam away from is 20 meters. And coming in contact with an enemy on impact will launch them in the air and deal 30 damage. Once used, it will go on a 12-second cooldown as well. I like to use this ability to engage on a target, usually in the backline like a strategist, and sometimes to escape a dangerous fight if I need to. The next ability I want to go over is Living Legend, aka his shield block. This will protect you from incoming damage from the front and has a health pool for 400 HP. And if you drop your shield early, it goes on a 1-second cooldown, or if destroyed, it goes on a 5-second cooldown. It will begin to regenerate shield health after 2 seconds. The shield is unique to Captain America as it can deflect projectiles and bullets in a random direction. I use this ability to get to either safety or to push with cover sometimes, even to save a stunned teammate or deflect an ult. Also, very important, there is a bug currently at the time of making this guide, when if you walk backwards while holding shield block, projectiles will go through the shield, so be careful when walking backwards with the shield. To prevent this, I usually try to catch myself doing it, and I usually just try to walk to the side instead of backwards. You can also use this ability while sprinting as well. You can also use his shield block while using this next ability, Liberty Rush. This ability is a shield bash that will make Captain America charge forward 12 meters and do 30 damage to anyone hit by the front, and will go on a 10-second cooldown when it's used. You may not know this, but when you are in the animation for this, you cannot be stunned, slowed, or pulled, or have any crowd control hit you by any means. Which means if you time it right, you can get out of, for example, a strange ult if timed correctly. The best way to use this is to rush someone down when they are low enough, or to escape a sticky situation fast. For the next ability we have is his Vibranium Energy Saw, aka his shield toss. Now what's different about this shield throw from the ones you get from your normal attacks is this one will ricochet off of targets and the ground to hit anyone nearby. This ability will do 70 damage to the first enemy hit, and the damage will scale down by 20% each ricochet, so 14 damage less with each ricochet. The maximum distance you can throw his shield is 25 meters and will ricochet up to 3 different enemies, and has an 8-second cooldown as well. I like to use this ability to build ult charge when a fight isn't happening yet, or to engage with it and combo with slam. The last ability is his ultimate, Freedom Charge. His ultimate is basically like another supportal as a tank. His ultimate will grant 150 bonus health to himself and 100 bonus health to allies on cast nearby. Every second afterward, if he loses bonus health, he will gain 100 bonus health every second, and allies will get 60 bonus health a second. The The way you give allies shield is Captain America will leave behind a American flag like trail behind him. When he moves around, anyone that passes through it will get the bonus health. And they will also get a 30% movement speed bonus, and it is granted to himself as well. His ultimate lasts 10 seconds, and the trail on the ground lasts 5 seconds, and the path has a width of 4 meters. The ultimate cost is 3,100 to charge. And the way I like to use this ult is kind of like a Mantis ult, where you would just rush down enemies with your team, or use it to support them and save them from either like a Doctor Strange ult or a Star-Lord ult. Worst case, I also like to use it to stall an objective for my team to come back if it means the game could be lost as well. Now let's take the time to talk about his team up. When you have Thor on your team, this will activate, and with it, Captain America will get a permanent movement speed boost of 1 meter a second, and he'll get a new ability where for 6 seconds he will throw shields as his normal attacks that will deal 50 damage to the first person it hits, with a range of 25 meters and can ricochet once, and will do 25 damage to the second enemy it hits. I don't get this team up very often when I play Cap, honestly, but the best way is to just use it on grouped up enemies and poking the backline from a safe distance. After the 6 seconds is over, it will go on a 20-second cooldown until you can use it again. Personally, I think Captain America does fine without the team up. It's not game changing, so don't worry about having a Thor on your team all the time. My biggest tip for his basic abilities is to never use both your Slam and Shield Bash to dive the backline. While Cap is very mobile compared to other tanks, if you get CC'd by either like Mantis Sleep or one big mistake, you might likely die, so make sure to manage your ability cooldowns well and don't just waste them on the backline. Now that we've gone over all the abilities and how to use them, let's get into the game plan and playstyle you want to have when using Captain America. Pretty much everyone since the launch of Marvel Rivals have wondered what Cap is even supposed to do as a tank. He can't shield like Doctor Strange and his damage isn't great, so what are you supposed to do? Well, the main job you want to be doing as Cap is just to be a bully in the enemy backline, and doing so will make the enemy's teams, tanks, and DPS have to make a decision. It will either A, force them to help their supports and back up, which will give your team a lot of space and the ability to push them, or B, their supports has to use something that will deal with you, like either forcing them to use an ultimate to stay alive, or use something to stall the Cap, like a Luna Freeze or Invisible Woman's Push. Captain America isn't meant to be played like a standard brawler like Hulk or Groot, but also since your team has their tank in the enemy backline, it leaves room to possibly push up as well. You don't want to stay in the backline too long, and if your team comes for help, then rushing back is the best option. Learning how to balance aggression and helping out teammates is the key to playing Captain America, and the best way to know when to get out of the enemy backline is if they use a support ultimate to keep someone alive, then you want to back up, or if they stun you, or if you hear enemies use ultimates behind you on your team. It's completely normal to not have crazy damage or damage block stats at the end of the game. You know you're doing your job when you have a high amount of elims and low deaths while creating chaos in the backline. This will also be a good time for me to talk about important matchups to look out for and what to do against them. So when facing Luna, either waiting for Luna to use her freeze then diving her, or diving her and holding blocks so it hits the shield, then killing her is the best way to take her out. Make sure to kill her quick since she can also run away fast as well. Same goes for Mantis, either waiting for her to use sleep or diving her then shielding so the sleep reflects and hits her, then bursting her down. Captain America is the best tank to go against Wolverine since if he captures you, then you can block his melee attacks with your shield and either dash or slam away. Namor is a harder character to deal with since the Luna team-up gives him a slowing turret and counters Cap pretty well, so if you see it, try to kill it fast, or if he's camping it, then running at him with your shield block works. Dealing with Hela can be pretty annoying since she can fly away, but if she does and you use slam already, then sprinting at her with your shield works well, that way you can block her shots. Penny is the biggest counter to Cap, so try to stay away from her as much as needed until her Spire-ness is gone. And you can't reflect her web shot back at her. I'm not sure if it's intended or not, but you can still block it with shield as well. Invisible Woman is pretty easy to take out if she already used her push, and if she also used her jump as well, it's pretty easy to burst her down since she doesn't have any self-healing. You can also block her push with your shield. Alright, lastly, let's talk about the animation cancel a bit more. I've made a short talking about how to do the animation cancel, but there's a couple things I learned after I made that video. First off, yes, it is definitely worth learning how to do this because not only is it a faster attack speed, but also the little time that you sprint in the animation cancel will help you stay close to enemies as well. How it works is when you have shield throws charges, when you use shield throw and hit the enemy right as you hit someone, you want to sprint for a quick second and then shield throw again and repeat it for all 4 throws. Once you get the timing down, it will look like this. Doing it too fast will cause your shield throws to not do any damage and waste a charge as well. And doing it too slow will result in a damage loss. So timing is everything. It will also work on toggle sprint, but instead of pressing your sprint key, you want to press W instead. I personally use hold to sprint, but it's all up to you for whatever you prefer. It'll all work the same. To practice it, I like to practice on stationary bots in the practice range to get the timing down, and then next you want to go into the area where you can spawn bots to move, and doing it on moving enemies will help as well. Once you get it down, it'll just become muscle memory for your games, and you'll be doing it naturally. And you should only do the animation cancel on close enemies, not far ones. Well, that's about it for the Captain America guide and all the tips I have for you guys. And honestly, if you don't play Captain America and you're considering giving it a try, just give it a try. He's such a fun character. He's very unique to all the Vanguards in the game, and I highly recommend giving him a try if you haven't already. I hope all of you got what you needed from this guide, and I also stream almost every day at my Twitch if you want to check me out. I stream at twitch.tv/JapaneseCurry. If you want to watch the best Cap gameplay or ask any questions or just hang out with others. And also subscribing to the channel would mean a lot to me, and it's free. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you later. Peace.
Oh yeah, Japanese Curry on the beat, yeah, he's in a hurt, gonna assemble and make the enemies tremble, playing Cap, yeah, he's so dope, you already know.